Welcome to 2K Sports. We have a Monday night of basketball for you. Alongside Hall of Famer Grant Hill and Coach Stan Van Gundy, this is Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce joins us from the sidelines. We are now into November, so let's check in on the standings in the Western Conference. You look at the Timberwolves, they're in 6th place, but still time to make a move in the standings. And of course, there's Utah, back 2.5 games.
You know, from Minnesota, we'll see if they can up the ante down the stretch. They still have a lot of work to do in order to rise to the top.
Well, sometimes those teams that are on the edge can be the most dangerous. They play like they have something to prove.
Let's check out Minnesota's starting lineup. Edwards is the 2, McDaniels the 3. Randall and Gobert are in the middle, and it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. And for Utah, they've got Yusuf Nurkic. Sviatoslav Mikhailuk is out there with Keontae George. Then it's Lauri Markkanen, and it's Hendricks in at power forward. This is their 2nd straight game facing off, Grant. Do you see tonight playing out like last game?
No, I think this one looks different. When we talked with the coaches, BA, they told us they've each got some new wrinkles for tonight.
Well, once Edwards saw his opening, it was game over. He delights in sticking it to you like this.
Markkanen for 3, drains the triple.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
I had a chance to catch up with Will Hardy. Immediately, Anthony Edwards came up in our conversation, and Coach kind of chuckled and said, well, I don't know if anyone on the planet can slow this kid down. He's on his way to becoming one of the best in the league, if he's not there already. Looks like they're going to roll the dice on one of the league's most talented players. Brian, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Allie. And it's Utah with the ball. Following the score by Minnesota. Markkanen, the pass to George. It's Mikhailuk on the wing. 5 on the clock. Lets it go. And the first shot of the night for him, missing. And so it's Edwards who brings up the ball for the T-Wolves. They put up a nice win against Sacramento last time out.
And it wasn't just their starters putting in work. Their backups were real spark plugs on offense.
Well, when you can build your lead with the 2nd unit on the floor, that makes the game a heck of a lot easier.
And offensive rebounding, one of Rudy Gobert's specialties, Grant.
Yeah, in some games, over half his points come from second-chance opportunities. You know, B.A., even when you block him out, he can reach right over you and get that board.
Now here's George. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Minnesota. Markkanen from long range. And it's Gobert with a rebound. The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 3 so far from the floor. DiVincenzo, pass to Edwards. Deflected! Here's Mikhailuk, guarded by Edwards. Utah moving the ball around. Here's Mikhailuk. They double him with McDaniels. And Nurkic throws it down!
Oh, the big man, Nurkic, from super close range.
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played so far. Pass to Gobert. Now Edwards. Now here's DiVincenzo. Picked by Gobert. Clock at 4. Ooh, nice D from George. Utah trailing here. Now Markkanen. There's 49 seconds left in the first quarter here, and Hendricks gets it to go.
Yeah, they want more playmaking from Markkanen. That's the next step in his game.
46 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Outside Edwards. Releases. Minnesota again missing.
Well, he's more than comfortable in the mid-range, but you can't make them all.
Pass to George. Back to Markkanen. Here's Hendricks. Checked by Randall. Nurkic passes to Markkanen. Utah needs to get off the shot here. The shot by Mikhailuk, no good. Outside Edwards. Shoots over George. No good. Misses at the buzzer. 1 quarter in the books. And it's been a close one. Jazz out in front, leading by a point. Don't go away. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment. And some good action in the books as we get back to a game that's been pretty close so far here. And from what we've seen from the Jazz, what's your take so far?
Well, I'm really loving their activity. I mean, they're contesting shots. They've really set a strong tone early.
Yeah, well, the best way to get in the head of your opponent is through aggressive defense.
Kevin Love out there with Filipowski. Then there's Collier, then it's Bailey, and it's Sensabaugh, and it's shooting guard. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. Here's Shannon. Clark outside. From deep, Conley. It's hauled in by Collier. Jazz leading by 3. And prior to last season, the Timberwolves had never won a playoff series in consecutive seasons, Stan.
Yeah, and so now they make the conference finals 2 seasons in a row. The most sustained success this franchise has ever known.
Now here's Filipowski. And here's Bailey for 3. Randall pulls down the board. Pass to Shannon. Conley looking for an opening. To the left side wing. Here's Randall. And he banks in the layup. Randall's got his first 2 points.
Well, Randall is a problem inside. He has so many ways he can beat you down there.
And so Will Hardy calls the timeout. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Nurkic is checked in for Love. Hendricks comes in for Filipowski. Lauri Markkanen's checked in for Bailey. And Mikhailuk subbed in for Sensabaugh. And then for Minnesota, Rudy Gobert's checked in for Reed. McDaniels comes in for Clark. And it's Edwards in for Shannon. Markkanen misses. And so Randall will bring it up for Minnesota. They trail by 1. Last time they met in Minneapolis.
They enjoyed a big win in their last meeting, putting their opponent in just terrible foul trouble throughout the game.
Yeah, I don't think you can count on that happening every time, but it's a nice advantage when the calls go that way.
Oh, what ferocity on the throwdown. I just love when he goes up with purpose.
Oh, Rudy on the lob. And players these days with great ball handling, but occasionally getting away with a carry at times.
Oh, you know, B.A., the old discontinued dribble. I mean, this might be where tracking cameras could start to help because that's such a tough call for an official to assess in the moment.
Utah moving the ball around. Pass to Markkanen. Here's Collier. He's coming off a 10-point game against Minnesota. And the 3 off target. 1:25 left in the second period. Here's Conley. It's Edwards on the wing. Here's Gobert. Outside Conley. Three-pointer. Pure from three-point range.
3 points.
Conley's got his first 3 points of the game.
Well, this is what Mike Conley provides for you. Elite efficiency at the arc.
Utah has gone 0 for 3 from deep to begin the second. Pass to Nurkic. McDaniels against Markkanen. Over McDaniels. The rebound by the Timberwolves. If they play this right, they can go 2 for 1.
Yeah, they really have to work the clock right now.
That one's good for 2. And now a 4-point Minnesota lead.
Well, smart idea from McDaniels, looking to convert inside.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by. Well, that was clearly a foul.
Utah shooting their first free throws of the game now.
At the line for Utah, Yusuf Nurkic. 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Nurkic.
Yeah, someone who has battled injuries. Great to see Yusuf Nurkic out there tonight.
Utah making a switch here. George is checked in. And then for Minnesota, Naz Reid's checked in for Randall. And it's DiVincenzo in for Mike Conley. Nurkic hits them both. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Outside Reid. Over Markkanen. Reid can't hit. George outside. Pass to Markkanen. 4 seconds left. And stolen by Edwards. Doesn't go that time. And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. Timberwolves ahead, leading by just 2. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports.
Make some noise and get ready for the fan half-court shot. Please direct your attention to center court. Drum roll. They're thinking about the shot.
Greetings, everybody. Before we review the first half, let's take an early season peek at how the Western Conference is shaking out so far.
A look here now at Minnesota. They've started this season on the right foot, something we kind of expected, given their offseason. We'll see if this is a pace they can maintain as the year rolls on.
Let's shift focus back to the Utah Jazz, who find little separation after one half of play.
Production from the bench is a must. The starters can't carry the load all game. Mix and match the lineup moving forward. Keep the guys fresh.
Seems like the bench needs to find some motivation. Thanks for joining us. Time to head back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple of quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Without question, Yusuf Nurkic displaying his skills today.
And you can say his performance goes beyond the stat sheet.
Well, he's a great competitor. He makes positive plays at both ends, and he's a great teammate as well.
Kicking off the second half, here's Chris Finch's 5. DiVincenzo and Edwards are the backcourt. McDaniels at the 3 with Randall at the 4. And it's Gobert in at the center position. Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thanks, B.A. The Timberwolves have elite shot creation, but it's finding that balance. Anthony Edwards said, I'm wired to score the ball. I'm going to showcase my game, so it's hard to find that balance of when to pass and when to keep it and try to get going. Sometimes I feel like the right play is me. B.A., back to you.
Fills it up with the best. Okay, Allie, good stuff.
Emphatic finish by Randall. I love when he's forceful around the hoop.
And a contract extension this summer for Jazz head coach Will Hardy.
Well, one of the youngest head coaches in the league. He has the respect of all of the other head coaches. He's part of that Spurs coaching tree, and his extension runs through 2031, which is a nice commitment from the Jazz.
The Timberwolves lead by 4. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the third quarter. DiVincenzo finds Randall. It's rebounded by Hendricks. Here's Mikhailuk, guarded by Edwards. Pass to Hendricks. The teardrop, and he lays it in. Hendricks has gotten his second bucket on the night.
Great touch there. It's just so tough to defend a floater like that.
And the Timberwolves with possession here. They've only allowed 2 points so far in the second half. Now here's McDaniels. Good ball movement here by Minnesota. The three, DiVincenzo nails it from beyond the arc. DiVincenzo's gotten himself going with a triple, his first basket of the game. Nurkic to screen on DiVincenzo. Pass to Mikhailuk. Over to the left wing. And here's Markkanen. McDaniels covering. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Out to the wing. Randall with a steal. And they're running. The open shot by Edwards. A good-looking shot from the wing. And it's a 7-point Minnesota lead.
Well, I'd say any play with Edwards on the finishing end has a good chance of succeeding.
And so Will Hardy calls the timeout. He's going to take a moment to give him a breather and talk things over. He's checked in for Utah. Collier comes in for Markkanen. And Minnesota will go for a different look here. Naz Reid's checked in for Gobert. Miller comes in for Julius Randle. Shannon's checked in for McDaniels. And Mike Conley is subbed in for DiVincenzo. And there's a pick. Back to Filipowski. 6 on the shot clock. Pulls up. Utah with another miss. Minnesota leading by 7. Pass to Conley. Here's Shannon. To the inside. Here's Miller. Here's Reid. Another one falls for Minnesota.
Yeah, really not where you expect Reid to shoot from, but he clearly made the right choice by taking that shot.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Here's Collier, guarded by Edwards. To halt the run. Here's Hendricks. Tipped away.
Look, that's just great work on the boards. Effort dictates success on the glass more than size.
Miller, the pass to Conley. Here's Shannon. Yet to see a basket. Takes the 3. That shot, no good. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves with a 9-point cushion at the end of the quarter. Their defensive efforts have paid off, effectively shutting down the opposing offense. All right, stick around. We'll be right back after this. And while we have a chance, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Well, it's one of the core parts of the game. Reading the defense and creating an easy bucket for your teammate. That is pretty.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth quarter. Lauri Markkanen out there with Kyle Filipowski. Then there's Collier, and it's Shibwe in at the 5. That's the group for Utah right now. Jazz trail by 11. Here's Collier. Pass to Sensabaugh. Here's Collier. 5 to shoot. They set the pick. Here's Shibwe. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
Personal foul.
They'll pin that one on Julius Randle.
Yeah, and you never want to let shots at the rim go uncontested.
And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
Well, they've really been sharing the basketball. All coaches talk about that, try to get their teams to do it. It's really great when you see it in action.
They're also finding a lot of points tonight off of transition play, running the floor and using the fast break to beat the defense.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Hendricks is checked in for Filipowski. Mikhailuk comes in for Sensabaugh. And it's Keontae George in for Collier. Well, Grant, we've heard Anthony Edwards talk about trusting his teammates. He understands you need everybody.
Yeah, a lot falls on his shoulders offensively with this team, BA. So those playmaking decisions in the moment, a lot easier said than done.
With his giant frame, Gobert sets a good screen and then just pivots into open position.
And so George will bring it up for Utah. Down by 12. Markkanen against McDaniels. Here's Mikhailuk. Shot clock at 5. It's blocked by Gobert.
Well, you have to be aware of Gobert. So good at blocking shots. He just controls the paint.
It's great to see a fantastic block on replay once again.
Oh, showing no signs of giving up this lead. That block sent shockwaves into the opposition sail.
Nurkic is checked in for Utah. From 20 feet out, Gobert pulls it down.
And it didn't register as an official block, but he did everything you want in disrupting that shot.
Well, you know, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
Jazz trail by 14. They've been having major problems offensively.
Definitely in a bit of a dry spell.
Now George. DiVincenzo pulls it down.
Wow. Missed the easy one right there, right at the rim, but came up empty.
Randle. Yes! Using that window.
They're really dictating the tempo on both ends of the court. You love it.
Absolutely. They're playing their game and executing at a real high level. Everything is working for them right now.
And one of our featured players tonight earns our Player of the Game award, Rudy Gobert.
And guess what? This was his game all night. I mean, he tore through the defense and almost never took a bad shot out there. Really, a level of offensive consistency most players can only dream of.
I'll tell you, this is the kind of game you love to have from your role players. Putting up big numbers, filling in the gaps, and supporting your squad out on the road. 6 to shoot. Randle! Oh, missed on the tray. Jazz trail by 16.
And the distance between the point totals for these teams tells the whole story. Just a fantastic effort, and you have to give it up for the Timberwolves.
Check out their assist numbers.
They didn't get stuck in isolation. They got the ball to the guys who had the best matchups.
And this will give them their 7th win of the year.
And they've had their fingerprints all over this series, winning 2 straight and looking like they have this team's number.
And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for Rudy Gobert.
And you can't put a price on the value of his rebounding in this game. His effort on the glass was a game changer.
So Utah ends up going with a new group. They set a pick. Here's Berete, covered by Filipowski. Banks it home. Big shot.
Excellent effort on the road. They've literally sucked the energy out of this arena.
Yeah, and winning games on the road is huge, especially when you get them in such a convincing fashion.
5-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Sensabaugh. And he slams it down. So it's Minnesota Minnesota easily grabbing this one. This one wasn't even close. The hometown crowd was waiting for a miracle that never came.
Yeah, and this team was consistent throughout. They met every challenge, and they earned this dub.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. Alongside Stan Van Gundy, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson saying thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.